What is up, everybody? VitalSyntax here, and I've got some more Battlefield 3 gameplay, and I'm using the A91 as an engineer. And this is one of my favorite guns in the beta. After I had unlocked it, it was, I think it was towards the end of the engineer's unlock tree, and it is amazing. It looks kind of funky, and I don't think I've ever seen this gun in any other game or in real life or anything like that. So, but it was really, really good. I really liked the iron sights, and it felt like it had a really, really high amount of accuracy with, paired with really high fire rate. It was really, really useful even at long ranges. But I'm not going to be talking about the gameplay in this video. I'm going to be talking about the maps that are going to be in the full retail version of Battlefield 3. So today on the official Battlefield blog, which is at blogs.battlefield.ea.com, DICE posted a list of 4 maps and a in-depth description of each one. 4 maps that are going to be in the full game. One of those maps was Operation Metro, and obviously since we got to play that game, we saw it at E3 and we got to play it in the alpha and the beta. I'm not really going to be discussing that one, but they did give a in-depth description of that one as well. But the 3 new maps that they revealed today, I'm going to be going over those, and also they said that tomorrow they're going to be posting the rest of the maps, and in total there are 9, so I'm expecting 5 more tomorrow, and I'll go over those as well. So the first one is Operation Firestorm. I'll put an image on the screen so you can see some screenshots. It looks very unique, very cool setting. It's also titled, or working title, as Oil Fields, and it's going to support all the game modes as of, all the maps in Battlefield 3 are going to be available, and everything from Rush, Conquest, Team Deathmatch, Squad Deathmatch. It doesn't matter what the game mode is. And that's one of the things that they're doing differently from Bad Company 2. With Bad Company 2, some of the maps on release date weren't available in certain game modes, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing because they opened them up eventually. But I do like that they're having all of the maps available in every game mode on launch date. And then hopefully they'll add, future DLC with more maps and maybe more guns and things like that. So Operation Firestorm, it's one of the largest maps they've ever done in Battlefield, in a Battlefield game. It's 3 times the size of Atacama Desert, and Atacama Desert was a Battlefield Bad Company 2 map. It was one of the largest maps. I think it was the largest map aside from Heavy Metal in Bad Company 2. And it's 3 times the size of that. At least, the playable area of the map is that size. So it's a ginormous map. It's just huge. And playing this on Conquest with jets and helicopters, I think it'll have a similar feel to Caspian Border. I think it probably will be a tad bit bigger just because, Caspian Border was definitely a huge map, but in my mind, I didn't feel like it was 3 times the size of Atacama Desert. So the setting is, it's in the desert. There's oil rigs and huge warehouses. So there's lots of indoor areas, and there's lots of tight places that you can go in and control. I'm guessing in Conquest the flags are going to be in the middle of some of those warehouses or near some of the oil rigs. And then there's also the huge open sand desert areas of the map. So moving on to the next one is Tehran Highway. I think I'm saying that right. Tehran Highway. This is going to be an interesting map because it's a night, takes place during the evening. It's also working title is just Highway, and once again all of the game modes are going to be available for this map. And a brief description is it's going to be an infantry fighting in tight city streets. So unlike Caspian Border and Operation Firestorm, I think this is going to be a little bit similar to Operation Metro, but possibly a little bit less linear. Operation Metro was very linear. It had a very straightforward set path that you would go through. It's a very long, narrow map, and I think from the screenshots and from the information I've seen on Tehran Highway, it looks like it's going to be a little bit more expansive, but still more focused on infantry combat. Next one, and the last one that they released information about, is the Damavand Peak. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that again correctly, it's Damavand Peak, something like that. Also dubbed Base Jump, and this one looked by far the most interesting to me, and I'll get to why in a couple seconds. Once again, it's going to be available in all the game modes. Its brief description would be fighting in winter mountains, so it kind of reminds me of some of the maps we saw in Medal of Honor. But the reason this map looks so interesting to me is because if you're playing Rush, and I'll put some screenshots up on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. If you're playing Rush, the attackers are actually going to start out at a high altitude base jump, basically, and you have to actually jump off and survive a 500-meter descent to actually get to the first set of objectives. So I think this is going to be amazing. I imagine attackers spawning up at their base and just jumping off this huge cliff, throwing out their parachutes, and moving their way towards the objectives. So that's a really, really cool concept, and I like that they're adding some variety for map design. Also, they said that there's also a large tunnel section that's dug into the side of the mountain towards the bottom of the map, and that there's going to be more and more vehicles as you move throughout the map. So very interested to see how this one's going to play out. It sounds like it's going to be really, really cool. So those are the 4 maps. Well, I guess I only went over 3, but the 4th one was Operation Metro. So those are the 4 maps that they talked about in the Battlefield blog today. I'll cover the other ones when they release information on those. But aside from that, there's a couple other things I wanted to talk about. One of the things is what they changed, or what they are working on changing from the beta to the full game release, because I know a lot of people had issues with the beta, obviously, because it's a beta and there's going to be glitches and problems. And they released on the battle log, or not on the battle log, on the battle blog as well, information about what they, I guess the top 10 issues that they had addressed from the beta. And some of these are very, very important features that they obviously were going to fix, but it's good to know that they actually are confirming it. So the first thing is the squad issues. In the beta, there was basically no support for squads. It was very difficult to be in the same squad as somebody on your friends list. And even when you were, if the game ended and it started a new round, you were often put in different squads, sometimes different teams. There was no squad management system aside from leaving a squad and joining a squad, but often when you left a squad, it just put you back into the same one over and over and over. So there's going to be a full squad management system where you can leave a squad, you can look at a list of all the squads, you can invite friends to your squads. There's going to be a whole array of options for managing your squads. So don't expect there to be any issues with squatting up with your buddies or anything like that. I was watching, I don't know if you can, yeah, you can hear right now, there's weird, strange sound effects and strange soundtrack playing in the background. I was watching Game of Thrones at the end of this recording. Forgot that this was here. Well, I will leave the rest of the changes they made, and of course those other maps for the next video. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.